If you come from a family that loves comic books, today's story is for you. It's Green Lantern, number 124. The title is Break On Through. The writer is Marz, the penciler is Darryl and the artist is Andy Smith. If you want to look for this video link posted here, you'll get a chance to see both Marz and Darryl talk to you about their artistry. The subtitle is Control Freak. Kyle, I can't let you take on the controllers alone. You're in no condition to be going anywhere, at least not before you get checked out in the JLA infirmary, or maybe at SCAR labs. Be real now, John. Now that I know what's happening, I'm going after them. You think you know what's happening. There's no way you can be sure until you get checked out. Look, for whatever reason, they did this to me. I'll handle it myself. The controllers tonight might not be where I've got my head back together. I might have a chance of surprising them if I don't waste time. This isn't the time to play lone wolf. We never let this sort of thing go on in the Corps. Yeah, you're right, John. I really can't trust myself. No sense in going off half-cocked and getting into trouble. I'll wait. I'll get it checked out. Good man. Oh, John, one more thing. You're looking pretty spry for somebody who was crippled last time I saw him. I mean, you wound up in a wheelchair after going toe-to-toe with Fatality, right? No, of course not. Why would you think that? Save it. Nice try. Really. But I've caught on to how this game is played. Now I want some answers about what the heck you did to me. Then we can move on to how and why. Anybody? You've proven yourself entirely more capable than we had suspected, Green Lantern. But you're still far less than a minor nuisance to us. Gee, you'll hurt my feelings. Why don't we see who's a minor nuisance? Neat trick. You should work parties. Did you truly think you could pose a threat to us, to our plans? I didn't get that memo. Which plans exactly? We are the controllers. We are cousins to those who were once the most powerful force in the universe, the Guardians. We have survived where they did not. And we desire order. The universe is a random thing, the idiot child of chaos and confusion. Our previous attempts to foster order met with failure because our involvement was distant. We observed rather than acted. No longer. Our creation of the tool you call effigy has provided the means by which we will achieve our goal. When we encountered you, we deemed you a possible inconvenience, so mental corruption was introduced. Your mind would turn upon itself and create its own reality. Your imagination would become your prison. But to our surprise, your willpower enabled you to free yourself. No matter. You've succeeded only in delivering yourself to us. And you think I'm not up to stopping what you're doing? Stop what we're doing? No. You're going to be a part of it. Huh? Well, what's to do with this? Pointy ears reaches out and squeezes my brain like an old sponge, and when I force myself back to the here and now, my clothes are mostly gone and I'm trussed up like a... Oh my gosh, where am I? And where's my ring? Conscious. Interesting. That's almost never the case. But then the Guardians always did favor willpower in their pawns. Of course, that particular trait will no longer be needed. All is in readiness? It is. Then we'll begin. You do understand what's about to happen. You will cease to be a Green Lantern when we are finished. You will be our tool. Back off! He's talking about turning me into the same thing as Effigy. They actually are building an army, an Effigy Corps, and this is the factory. I've seen the results of your handiwork. No thanks. This display is an exercise in futility. You have no hope of withstanding us. Ring or no ring, I don't roll over for anybody. There is no choice. You can't escape your fate. We can control you as easily as we control. How can this be? Give somebody enough doses of poison and they become immune to it. Whatever you did to me, all the gunk you stuffed into my head, I learned how to resist it. I've learned how to resist you. Now, where's my ring? Release them! Release all of them! Seems like now would be a good time to make myself scarce before they put me on the menu as a flame-broiled special. I serve the controllers. I serve the controllers. I serve the controllers. There's a song I've heard before. Last time I faced a bunch of these guys. Delusion or not, I had a half-dozen lanterns with me. Now I don't even have my ring. Which means I don't have a prayer. A power ring's too valuable to destroy, so obviously the controller stashed it somewhere. But I'd never be able to find it in time. So about the only chance I've got is to have the ring find me. Good boy. Never even tried that one before. The things you think of when you're on the run from alien zombie pyromaniacs. Let's do something about that. Everybody got their party clothes on now? If this really is my last hurrah, it's going to be as Green Lantern. I think I've earned that much, even if I did end up with the ring more by accident than design. I can hold some of them back. I can take some out, but the controllers have made an awful lot of their pasty-faced servants. Why aren't you protecting the gestation chambers? We are not instructed to do so, controller. At least I can guarantee they won't be making any more. Still, there are too many of them for me to take on solo and not get overwhelmed eventually. So you know how the line goes. I'll get by with a little help from my friends. And there's more where they came from. These effigies have the same problem as the original last time I faced him. They're just puppets. No willpower, only strength in numbers. Well, I can do strength in numbers too. Or at least the illusion of it. Times like this, being a one-man band doesn't really cut it. And the JLA's primary concern is protecting Earth, not dealing with what happens half a universe away. Maybe it is time I had some help doing this job. Gotta admit, feels good having somebody at my back. So, here's where you've been hiding. Anything you want to share with the class? Still think I'm not up to stopping you? We acquiesce this time, Green Lantern. Be satisfied with that. But ask yourself what you've really won, will you? Imprison us? Destroy us? I think not. You are only one man. No matter what weapon you wield, be aware. We will not underestimate you next time. Next time? If you're actually dumb enough to force a next time, you be aware you might be facing a real Green Lantern Corps. A real Green Lantern Corps. Did I? Maybe I'm supposed to make it happen. Bring everything full circle from now. From how I wound up being Green Lantern in the first place. Not that I have a clue where to start. I've got a ring that can do anything except make more of itself. That even sounded like I meant it. But that's what this ring is about, isn't it? Finding a way. I might not know what the future holds for me, or who, but I can't wait to see where we go from here. And that's the end of this DC comic, issue 124 of Green Lantern, Break On Through, subtitled Control Freak. This issue, again, was done by Marz, Banks, and Smith.